Greetings, cohorts. My name is Kendra Radford, and I'll be providing the summary for Group 3. There was quite a bit of reading assigned for this discussion, so I have pulled out the key takeaways for your reference. The first reading is titled Occupational Health and Psychology, which describes OHP as a discipline that merges psychology and public health to improve the quality of work or life, protect the safety of workers, and promote healthy work environments. Within this discipline, there are several major frameworks that we will touch on. The first is Ecological Dimensions of Occupational Health and Psychology, that talks about how the work environment can be influenced by stressors such as workload and the physical environment, the individual characteristics like self-esteem, health, and age, and the work-family interface, or how their personal life could affect work performance. The next is Preventive Health Management, which states that the focus placed on enhancing employee well-being should be the same as the prevention of illness and injury. The last framework is Organizational Health, which places ownership of employee well-being on both the employee and the employer. The purpose of this model is to enhance productivity and well-being, focus on organizational intervention, and to provide a total integrated workforce. Organizational health is promoted by implementing the foundational program components, which are database programming, integrated agent, organizational consulting, information broker, targeted training and prevention, and worksite support, surveillance, monitoring, and evaluation. Reading 2 is Promising the Best Practices in Total Worker Health, a workshop summary. But before we talk about the workshop, we should define what total worker health means. Total worker health is a strategy integrating occupational health protection with health promotion to prevent worker injury and illness and to advance health and well-being. In May 2014, with partnership between NIOSH and the Institute of Medicine, a one-day workshop was established to focus on determining prevalent and best practices in programs that integrate occupational health and safety promotion within various stakeholder groups. There are 4 common approaches used for businesses to promote worker health. They are supporting healthy behaviors via health screens or promotions, preventing work-related injuries by controlling hazards, reducing work-related stress by offering social support, and expanding work-related resources such as time off, childcare, and training. Because there is so little information readily accessible through peer-reviewed journals, the workshop stakeholders were asked to determine how they would measure what is successful about their total worker health program, what are their specific measures or outcomes used to demonstrate success, and what measures could be more useful to their programs. Since USAA had been using the total worker health concept for some time, they were used as the best practice example based off a risk appraisal for their employee wellness that measured against employee satisfaction, high participation rates, risk factor reduction, and economic impact analysis. The findings of their appraisal were that there was an increase in employee engagement in wellness programs, a 28% reduction in total risk factors of employees with BMIs of 30 or greater, and an 80% decrease in long-term disability costs. In Reading 3, Building Wellness, a Facility Management Perspective, the topic of building wellness was covered. The International Well-Building Institute has created a set of criteria to evaluate for building wellness, similar to the LEED certification from the U.S. Green Building Council. It establishes wellness in the work environment by things like air quality, food and health services, as well as stress reduction techniques. Experts say this concept can be measured by lower cost of insurance premiums, lower costs associated with claims, and reduced absenteeism and increased productivity. In order for compliance, there has to be a leadership buy-in to ensure employee participation. Due to an increased emphasis on healthier lifestyles, it's believed that the demand for well buildings will increase in the future. The fourth and final reading, Designing for Well-Being in the Workforce, according to experts, discusses how office spaces have historically been designed to maximize the space for productivity. In an effort to promote healthy employee wellness, a new trend is emerging that gives preference to workplace amenities. According to experts, establishing a healthy mood is the keystone to having a healthier work environment and a more productive employee. Employers are using interior designers to create spaces that have better ambiance for their employees. Experts believe that lighting, space, and color should always be a factor when designing offices to ensure a happier, healthier work environment.
Thank you, Kendra. Total worker health can be viewed as a practical culmination of the field of occupational health psychology and is at the core of many regulatory and non-regulatory agency programs, certifications, and initiatives. Chief among these agencies is NIOSH, which boasts a large share of the initiatives available, namely Total Worker Health, but closely tied to Total Worker Health are Prevention Through Design and Future of Work. Both programs exist under the NIOSH umbrella. Combined, these three programs form a through line around the core concept of organizational wellness engagement by addressing issues from before ground is ever broken on a workplace to predicting what challenges might be in store. Beyond NIOSH are ancillary programs that may not have direct ties to total worker health and wellness, but whose core tenets align with those of occupational health psychology in many ways. OSHA's Voluntary Protection Program and the U.S. Green Building Council's leadership in energy and environmental design, which was mentioned in our readings, are programs that support the fundamental ideas of total worker health through offering protections and benefits to organizations that participate. For most of us, the design and engineering portions of these initiatives would be considered stretch goals if they're even on the table at all. But there are still many practical ways we can reimagine our practices to benefit workers and our organizations. A major component of total worker health is the hierarchy of controls. It is almost identical to the hierarchy we are all familiar with for hazard mitigation and follows the same tiered approach of most effective changes starting with elimination and the least effective, rather than PPE, being encouragement. If we apply the hierarchy to a specific goal, healthy eating for example, we start as we normally would with elimination. For this example, we might want to consider ways we can eliminate the perceived need to eat quick, unhealthy food by evaluating breaks and ensuring they are properly adhered to. Substitution is easily done by substituting available unhealthy snacks with healthier options. A simple means of redesign could be placing healthy choices at eye level on shelves or vending machines with less healthy snacks beneath them. Education can be achieved through having nutrition information for snacks readily available and providing some form of training on how to choose healthier options. Lastly, encouragement can take the form of conducting regular check-ins to keep the idea of healthy eating fresh in employees' minds.
Now it's time to utilize everything we have learned this week and answer a few questions to begin a class discussion. The first question: how important is the promotion of individual health and well-being to your organization? Does your organization have any worksite health promotion or worksite stress management programs? Do you believe that these would lead to organizational effectiveness? The next question: all of the programs and initiatives mentioned this week are voluntary. What barriers do you suppose would be presented by management in response to recommending Total Work Health or a similar program? How would you propose dismantling those barriers? And finally, with the popularity of many big or trendy businesses designing offices and workspaces that are unconventional and tout benefits to productivity and wellness, it can be easy to adapt similar workspaces. But what changes would you recommend for adapting industrial and warehouse environments to these principles?